Hello, everyone. I'm Wolf Madsen, here with my partner Johnny Buff Guns,
Hello, everyone.
and we are
Creatures
Creatures of the Night. How's everyone doing? John, you want to start us off?
Yes, I want to start out by saying that this year marks the 50th anniversary when Jaws came out.
Yeah, I heard that through the grapevine, and I still can't believe it. You know, that movie. What can be said? What can be said that hasn't been said about Jaws? It's Jaws.
Well, I guess the one thing about Jaws too, if you people are not like hardcore horror fan or not much of a horror fan, Jaws is like a neutral horror film for a lot of people. It's not as like grotesque or over the top, or maybe a little bit of gore, but not over the top. It's more
right. It's more. The original is more suspense.
Yes.
There's a little bit gore, obviously.
Very minimal.
It's not compared to today. It's not even
right. And, like the characters are like is what makes the movie, and again, memorable story, memorable quotes. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Hoopa, hoopa.
Yeah, exactly. Like a doe's eyes.
Yes, that's all my. When I was rewatching that I did a YouTube video with my father, and I was thinking to myself, I don't know what's more scary, the opening scene or this monologue speed, the way he describes of how he survived the U.S. Indianapolis.
It really shows the strength of someone's performance.
Yeah,
they could sell you on a story within the world. You know, Donald Pleasance is another really good example of that.
Right.
Where in Halloween he describes Michael Myers, and
that's true.
Picture of how dangerous he actually is.
Well, it really shows how, like in Halloween, that Dr. Loomis has been with so much with Michael that he's just like burnt. He's burnt out with Michael because he tried everything, but he just knew that he could not be fixed or cured.
And you get that information by just this sort of monologue.
Yeah, and it's ironic you said that there's rumors about a possibility of a prequel. It's like interesting, but that could go either way because, again, with Halloween, the first one, that's what makes it effective. We didn't see when it happened. We're just getting the sense about what the way Norris described being Michael's when he was Michael's doctor.
Yeah, and getting back to Jaws, it's kind of a similar kind of situation where we get from Shaw, exactly how dangerous this shark is.
Yeah, and it's amazing that scene was not in the script. It was just something that he improvised. He told Steven that, I have this idea, and Steven said, go ahead. He goes, say what you want, improvise.
And that's why that scene is so authentic. It really is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, deliver the bum, the Hiroshima bum. I'll never put another life jacket again.
Yeah. And I forget, the shark actually has a name? Bruce?
Bruce, yeah. They never call him Bruce. I don't know why they call him Bruce, to be quite honest.
Was that like, I often wonder, was that like a production gag?
I really don't know.
Was that like a production gag that like kind of got out into the public?
I really don't know. It's interesting. Even Jaws had a production problem, yet somehow the film turned out just fine as what... Because like in the opening scene, the shark was supposed to pop up, but Spielberg said the shark was having mechanical problems. That's when he thought, I won't show the shark. We'll just it'll be the imagination is what make it scary about where the girl.
And it worked out. It worked out. It worked out in the end. Great rule of horror. Sometimes less is more.
True. True.
Leave your audience wanting the monster. It's much more scarier at times to let the audience's imagination kind of take over.
That's true. No, you're right. I agree.
I do think that kind of lacks in horror now, but it depends where you look.
True. It's also like a great melodrama film. Well, that's Steven Spielberg for you. Melodrama where you have Brody, who wanted to close the beaches, but was told by the mayor not to close the beaches because it'll affect the town's economy.
Right.
After when the boy dies, he feels the guilt of I should let the beaches close. But then again, when I actually watched him saying to myself, I get it. The mother was depressed and upset and grieving over her son's death, but she should have slapped the mayor. The mayor's really the one who was the jerk that was...
Right. And it really shows just the corruption and how the mayor really can make a quick buck at the cost of people's lives. And,
there's
a lot to the original Jaws if you really unpack
Yeah, oh yeah,
There's definitely more rewatch value for the original Jaws.
absolutely.
I can't say anything for the sequels because I hadn't seen the sequels.
I only saw the second one. It's not bad or great. It's okay, but after that they just went.
Is that the one with Michael Caine?
No, that's the fourth one, Revenge, which was
Oh, okay.
one of the
I knew one of
worst.
them. I knew
Yeah,
one of them was with Michael Caine.
yeah,
It's
that one was
funny.
fun.
It's funny. I had found an interview with Michael Caine, saying that regardless on what you think of the movie, that movie allowed me to get a nice house.
That's true. No, that's true.
There's
Like
something that effect. I forget if it was a nice house or a nice house for me
I
and my
get it.
mom.
Well, that's like similar how when Dennis Hopper did the Mario Brothers movie, when his son got older and found out, like, Dad, why were you in this film? And Dennis Hopper told him, I was in the movie to buy you those shoes.
Yeah, sometimes it works. Then
Yeah,
then you could be a Raul Julia and literally do it for a selfless
right,
reason, which is my sons love Street Fighter.
right. No,
Therefore,
that's
I'm
true.
going
No,
to be
you're right.
Bison and
Right.
give probably the best performance in that movie. Which I don't know. One of these days, I know we mostly do. I mostly do a horror, but we also do pop culture. One of these days, we got to tackle Street Fighter the movie
Yeah, we can do
from
that
the
down the
'90s.
road.
I would love to tackle that because that's one of the movies where I don't get the hate. Yes, it's
Right.
goofy. Yes, it's cheesy, but
Well,
it's
because of
memorable.
Jean Van Damme, that says it all.
Yeah, John Claude Van Damme. I mean, that was a miscast for sure.
Yeah.
Because Guile is supposed to be like American, not just
Right.
like he's a
They,
Steve
they,
Rogers,
and
right?
Van Damme is Belgium.
In Belgian. But I love the way he delivers the speech. He's like, I'm going to go down there. And I'm going to kick that son of a bitch's Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison
I
wannabe
always,
is going to feel it.
I always
I
thought,
love that. I
I always
love
thought
that.
like, I always thought like Van Damme was like a thinner, more flexible version of Arnold Schwarzenegger to some
I
degree.
can kind of see that. Like I said, I can see where Johnny Cage got his influence from,
Yeah,
obviously from John Claude. Uh,
yeah.
but but I don't know. The Street Fighter the movie we got to tackle sometime for
You
sure.
know, I've only seen nostalgic version. I never seen the film by itself, but maybe I'll consider it at some
I
point.
saw the film by itself, and by itself, it's great.
Right,
It's nacho cheese. It's
right,
delicious fondue nacho cheese. If you
right.
can leave your
Well,
brain at the door, and and it's great for people that aren't a fan really of Street Fighter, but it also is kind of faithful
right,
at the same time. It's not quite Mortal Kombat the movie, but
right.
it's not quite like the Super Mario Brothers live action movie.
Well, I can only imagine which one is worse. Pick your poison,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
sort of like middle, where it
Right,
gets some things right, but the goofiness and the heart of it is great. And
right,
while Julia steals the movie,
right,
his performance is unironically the best part of the entire movie because
right,
he gives it 110%. The
right,
dude studied dictators just so he can play a better bison.
right. Well, like I always liked Raul Julia as the '90s Gomez.
Oh yeah, '90s Gomez, and I know I'm forgetting a couple other movies.
I know he did other stuff. I just can't remember all of his films that he did
Yeah, but
before.
everything I've seen him in, as far as I know, he's one of those actors. God rest him. That
Yeah,
just like a Christopher Lee. Doesn't matter the script. He gives it his all.
right.
He gives it
Basically,
his all.
it shows that he had years ahead of him. If he was still alive today, who knows what else he could have
Oh
done?
yeah, he would have been. He would have been. I would have loved to see more Gomez. He probably would have been a good Zorro.
Actually, before I read that he was whatchamacallit, a possible. He was a
I
what's
could
the word
see
I'm
it,
looking for? He was a what was I gonna
and
say?
he would be fantastic.
he was a possibility that he would have played Zorro, but again, his death
Yeah.
impacted that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like John Candy too. We're getting all on a rant about actors that could have been, but
or similar how like Lon Chaney Sr. almost played Dracula before Bela Lugosi, but
yeah,
Lon Chaney Sr. died, and then Lugosi got the part of Dracula.
Yeah.
Different story, but still.
I don't know if you want to do this. Maybe we'll do this next podcast.
What's that?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original movie, is coming out in August, so maybe we'll do it for like.
All right, we can do that.
It's being re-released. I can speak today. But that's one of my favorite teenage, TMNT movies. There's a few that are great.
That was a good
one. But going back and watching that movie again, it ages like fine wine.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
Anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else?
Let's see. Well, recently we lost some talented people: Michael Madsen, Lynn Hamilton, and Julian McMahon. So sad.
Everyone's dropping like flies.
I know, and Mel Brooks is still kicking. He's 99.
I know. God bless him. I hope he makes it to Spaceballs too.
So do I. That's my concern. Like, don't let me. I'm somewhat excited, but this is going to go either way. Especially, I won't be the same about John Candy as Barf.
John Candy, yeah, you won't. I wonder what they're going to do. Are they going to like get somebody to replace? Like, the only thing I could see them maybe doing if they're going to replace Barf, right, is give like Barf a daughter,
right,
and have here's a good casting, right? If we were going to do daughter of Barf, right, it's got to be Melissa McCarthy.
I guess, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, no, good point there.
Like she's the only one that I think could really give sort of a unique spin on it that would make sense. or they can do it without Barf, which I think would be just as equally respectable. Give him like a little send off because he is a dog. Right, so they can make a joke about him being a dog and him being dying 15 years earlier than Bill Pullman's character.
Pizza the Hut. Whoa, it isn't Lodestar.
Yeah, he ate himself too. And that's the thing. Is like I'm curious what the jokes are gonna be.
I know. Well, my theory is maybe they're gonna make fun of like the recent Star Wars movies, maybe.
Well, they already have in the text scroll. They made fun of reboots. They made fun of requels. They made fun of
Scream did that.
Right. They made fun of everything, and maybe they'll make a joke. Be like, "We'll meet again once they reboot this," or reboot this, or I could see them doing that.
The ending of Spaceballs. God willing, no, for Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
I'm surprised it wasn't called The Search for More Money.
I know,
especially in this day and age.
I know, right? That's true.
I feel like, especially now of all times, where we have requels out the butthole and up the ass. You would think a title "Search for More Money." You'd be like, "Yeah, that's contemporary, right there."
That's a good point.
That's what studios have been doing.
I totally agree. Like, well, as I was saying, the recent Halloween sequel trilogy, hit or miss. They did some things that were okay, and other parts like, nah. It's hit or miss this part. It just wasn't what we expected. But you get what you pay for these recent Halloween prequel sequel trilogy.
And I feel like if they're gonna do a Halloween movie, maybe go with John Carpenter's original idea and make it an anthology.
That's, it's funny. A long time ago, I would have been against that, but now in this day and age, after what I saw with Halloween ends, now I think I'm
right. Make the season the theme.
Right.
Especially with I don't know if Stranger Things is still around, and
it is. This is the last season. They're coming out soon.
Yeah, especially with things like binge watching and things like Stranger Things. A show that owes its very existence to Halloween.
Yeah.
Right? You would think either Halloween the series or kind of more of about the season of Halloween.
Right.
You can
Yes.
even get the writer from what was it, the 2007 Trick or Treat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Michael Dougherty, I
Yeah,
think, or
you can
something like
even get
that.
Michael Dougherty to pen a lot of the writing because that's something he's already kind of done. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a cool idea. If
What's
if you
that?
if you really want to do an expanded universe idea, link the Trick or Treat universe with the Halloween universe.
Right.
Because we already know that, well, I don't know if in this continuity it's supernatural, but with the spirit of Halloween, if Halloween is the theme, have elements of supernatural.
Right.
Have elements of supernatural. Maybe have the corporation from the third movie come back with
Right.
all new people and stuff like that, and you can
Right.
kind of link that to the Trick or Treat series. You know,
Right.
in an anthology thing. Personally, I think it would be better as a series
Right.
because you can have time to digest each episode, and it's not all at once, and you have writers having time to stretch out each idea.
Yeah. No,
I think
definitely.
that would be a great direction to go.
No,
Um,
totally.
um, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the Halloween series, Halloween season. Actually,
Same. No, I always look
I'm
forward to it every
actually
year.
supposedly going to a haunted house or a haunted walkthrough
Nice. That's awesome.
this Halloween, and of
That's
course,
awesome.
I'm going to be watching my one of my favorite Halloween movies, the 1984 Trick or Treat. No
Nice.
relation. You've seen that,
I
right?
I've heard. I think you mentioned that before. No, I haven't. I didn't know that there
You
was
haven't
an
seen it yet,
'80s.
right?
No, I haven't. Actually,
Okay.
no. Wait. Well, wait a minute. Wait a second. Oh, the Trick or Treat, the heavy metal. Yes. Am I
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yes.
that
No,
one.
I have. Yes, I have seen it. That was very good.
Right? Like it's kind of become
Yes.
a tradition of mine. Every year, I sit
Yeah.
down and watch that movie, and I fall in love with the
I
whole
have
thing.
I have it on DVD. I think I got it
Oh,
at a
oh, so do I.
convention.
So do I. I only wish
Yeah.
there was a
I figure why
proper.
not?
Yeah, I only wish there was a proper Blu-ray because the Blu-ray I got is like not a proper Blu-ray. It's not a
I
bootleg,
get
but
it.
like whoever coded it just kind of took it offline,
I see.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I have it on DVD. I don't think they sold a Blu-ray at the con that I was aware of.
Yeah,
It's
I
you
got
take
this. I got the special edition, the apparently comeback edition.
right.
Didn't really have much on it, but I like I said, that movie in recent years is definitely a fan favorite of mine.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah,
Well, junk food movies, like you said, especially how like there are
it's
times I like to
it's
watch
important.
I like to watch a movie from like the '80s, even if it's not the best thing. I just enjoy it for the nostalgia
It's
vibe.
important. It's important to turn your brain off with
Yes, that
movies
too.
sometimes and
That
just have
too.
fun with them. Because at the
Oh
end of the
yeah,
day, that's all they are.
I enjoy the Elvira film. It's not great, but I think it's a
Oh, I
fun
love that
movie.
movie too. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
and I
very
also
cute.
think, and I also think the Pee Wee film, even though it has nothing to do with horror, but from
It's
the
got
'80s.
elements. It's got
Yeah,
elements. It's
a
not
little
fun.
bit, but it's again junk food movie. Because even though I didn't grow up with Pee Wee, but I used to watch that film every now and then because
Yep.
I was amazed. Like this is Tim Burton's first movie.
One of the things we have to talk about, maybe maybe we could talk about it really quick here. Best worst movie you've seen,
Okay, best. Okay.
like a
Oh,
movie that either is maybe not necessarily a bad movie, but is like either so low budget that you can't help but love it.
right. I'm not so but I can think of like a movie that is bad, but yet somehow I enjoy it. It's an example of that would be is Stop My Mom Will Shoot with Sylvester Stallone. Yes, don't judge me. I actually like this movie. Yes, as dumb as it
I'll
is,
have to see it. I have not seen it.
it's with Estelle Gaze. It's obviously the film. He plays a cop and his mother drives him crazy.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
favorite bad movie, and I say bad with an asterisk because I genuinely love just the heart of this movie because you can tell that the people making this movie absolutely either loved making it or loved being on set. Um, you know, It's a movie I found on Tubi and online, a movie from the 90s called Death Metal Zombies.
I think you told me about this before.
I think I might have discussed it on the podcast before, but if I haven't, I'll restate it. It's a movie for metalheads, made by metalheads for metalheads, and it's about a group of metal fans that discovered that their favorite band, Living Corpse, has a song that turns people into zombies.
Right.
Yeah. And the only cure for said zombie, apparently, is country music. Oh, it's so goofy. It's so goofy. Well, and I would love to be a fly on the wall for the pitch meeting, because I guarantee there wasn't like a meeting. There was probably a group of friends that got together and they said, "Hey man, let's get together on a weekend. We'll rent a video camera, like an old school video camera, from Blockbuster. We'll get all our girlfriends and our friends together. We'll make this movie about zombies, man."
Right.
Like that's the attitude it has of just so lackadaisical and so just unserious. You can't help but love it.
Right, gotcha.
Plus, it's a giant time capsule within the 90s. It's got all it's you have one guy that looks like Eddie Vedder.
Well, that's what movies are, time capsules. You learn about life was not what it is right now.
Yep, and if you are a metal fan, you'll see tons of people. I don't even think they really had wardrobes. They just said, find whatever metal shirt you have or whatever rock or metal shirt you have in your closet and wear it on set, because everyone is donning like death metal t-shirts and hard rock t-shirts. I couldn't imagine, like, the wardrobe for this movie probably was very easy, and it's super cheesy, and the gore effects I don't know what type of budget this movie had. But the gore effects, surprisingly, are pretty good.
Right.
For what I would assume would be maybe like $100 film.
Right.
maybe even less. I don't even know. Maybe they had someone with effects.
With talking about heavy metal, well, this is not related to metal, but still, it's about music. There was this film that came out recently with Michael B. Jordan called Sinner, set in the 1930s during Prohibition, and also it was also like jazz and blues, that kind of thing. These twin brothers open up a nightclub, but vampires attack, and it was actually really, really good. Especially, I'm not giving too much away, but the dialogue was excellent. I also liked the ending was just pure poetic justice.
Nice, I'll have to check it out. People were telling me about Sinner, and I have to check it out.
It was really well, because I'm a fan of the director Ryan Coogler. He's been one of my favorite directors the past decade, since he did Creed, the Rocky spinoff, and Fruitvale Station, and
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to have that From Dusk Till Dawn. It starts out a typical 30s movie. Then eventually, once the vampires start, showing up.
Depending on how you do it, it could be enjoyable,
Yeah, exactly.
I like me some vampire movies.
Right, same. It also was inspired from the jazz blue guy Robert Johnson, who supposedly was a talented jazz singer, but sold his soul to the devil for fame. But who really knows?
That's what the legend says. He was at the crossroads and he sold his soul.
Yeah, because
that's why his life was cut short.
I mean, I'm not an expert, but there are some religions that think that jazz is considered a sin, or all the. When you watch the film, you'll think about that stuff a little bit.
Well, that's pretty interesting, because it kind of ties in, going back to the 1984 Trick or Treat. The theme of it not only is celebrating metal, but kind of making fun of the whole satanic panic thing in the 80s of metal is the devil, and that's the message of the film, technically, even though at the same time it celebrates it as well, which is
last year when I saw Meixsell, I'm thinking to myself, this is something you're an expert on, about when they thought in the 80s that, like you said, metal was considered safe. Why our kids are going violent.
And that's why Trick or Treat resonates with me specifically, because I'm a huge fan of 80s metal, and and I'm like, all right, I'm familiar with all the stuff that they're either referencing or making fun of.
Right.
Because, I've done my research. I was not a kid in the '80s, but
Me neither.
I love that style, and
right.
And it's just a cool movie. It's a cool movie.
It is, no, and it's funny how like we're talking about like Halloween and Halloween 3, like the I like how in the third movie when the villain of it, what was it, Colonel Cochran like explains to Tom Atkins' character about the old tradition of how Halloween was celebrated long before trick or treating or commercialized Halloween.
Right, and that's where I think the Halloween franchise should go into
Yeah.
an anthology film, into
Right.
anthology either series or
Right.
films
Well,
where the holiday takes center
Right.
stage.
Well, when you look at Halloween 6, the Satanic Cult, if Halloween 3 was a big hit back then, they went the anthology route. Halloween 6 could have been like a Satanic Cult.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
given like I feel like maybe if they had either a different writer or maybe like someone like Joel Schumacher on there, and he kind of gave it a sort of 8mm kind of feel.
Or Lost Boys.
Could you imagine? Like sort of a
Joel Schumacher directing a Halloween film, like I guess, but it's hard to say.
If you were to do it more like 8mm.
I guess.
Where because there are ideas in Halloween 6 that could have worked. Satanic Cult, okay. Tying it to Michael, okay. That kind of making Michael his own uncle doesn't work.
Well, the other thing I didn't like about Halloween 6 is that he was, in the producer's cut, he was the father of Jamie's baby. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Right, yeah, that's what I meant.
Uncle Dad, like, just...
Uncle Dad, yeah. That's like something Leatherface would do, not Michael.
I could agree on that point. Yeah, that's a good point right there.
That's more Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. Well, in the 2013, she had a cousin. They were basically copying the Halloween 2 that was Laurie Strode and Michael were brother and sister.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've always, the Halloween series, the original Halloween series, my headcanon has always been 1, 2, and
H2O.
H2O.
Same.
For the Michael arc, right?
Yeah.
And that's even with a caveat. You can even take out H2O and be like, okay, it ended at 2.
Right. That's true.
Because then that would be an absolute straight line. So, but yeah, in terms of the Michael stuff, my headcanon has always been 1 and 2 or 1 and 2 and H2O. Even though I really do like 4. I don't know what it is about 4. The atmosphere of 4.
I like 4.
And I like the character of Jamie. I really do, and I really think if you had to end Halloween at that time, 4 would have been a good place to end it.
I could agree, but they just had to push the limit for the way.
Yeah, 5 was rushed.
It was. But
5 was rushed. 6 was a mess.
Yeah.
H2O got back on track, and we don't talk about Resurrection.
No.
We don't talk. Resurrection makes me angry, okay?
Same.
Makes me so angry. They killed Michael Myers so hard at the end of that, and I'm talking about the franchise. They killed Michael Myers so hard, and the Halloween franchise so hard, that Rob Zombie had to dig it back up, re-invite it, literally make Michael scary again because he got his butt whooped by Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, but for me, 4 solid, 5 it had potential, but if it wasn't rushed, it could have worked. But I respect why people don't like it. 6 is a mess. It's worse than 5. It makes 5 look better. And H2O stayed, but like you said, Resurrection just killed everything.
Yeah, Resurrection was a huge death nail.
In my Halloween Resurrection video, I did a Anchorman spoof. Go F yourself, Harvey Weinstein for insulting.
I know, and that even makes it even worse.
Oh, it does. It certainly does.
Yeah, it's Oh, it's rough out here, Johnny.
You got that right. It's just, it's like, what else could they have done after H2O? Send him to Mars.
Well, H2O was supposed to be the last one. He was dead.
Yes.
And I mean dead. Not just like, okay, you got burned up. You can kind of suspend your disbelief that, okay, you just got really badly burned. H2O, they beheaded him. And then Resurrection walks it back and goes, actually, that was Michael Myers. What? Now you're getting the fan fiction territory.
Oh, my God.
Now it's fan fiction. You're writing fan fiction.
I know.
Literally, you got Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks in there.
How does one get those two? I don't get it. Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks in a Halloween.
Well, somebody probably in the boardroom probably said, you know what? Blair Witch is hot right now.
Right.
We'll do a reality show, Blair Witch. It'd be super edgy for super teens. You know what people like? Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks. Let's get them both. Like I could practically see the cigar chomping executive going, that's really good. That's really good.
Mustafa Khan got too greedy at that point.
Yeah, that's really good. This will make a lot of money.
I watched an interview with him. He said the only reason why he got Busta Rhymes because of his teenage son was into rap music. He said, "Get Busta Rhymes." Okay, we'll get Busta Rhymes.
Right. You can clearly see, like I said, restating. You can clearly see the executives really checking every box of like what do cool kids like. Busta Rhymes, Tyra Banks,
and dumb reality TV shows at that time.
Right. Yeah. Like you can clearly see it was made in a focus group.
And again, I think it's the one time again, just like in the Halloween remakes, I root for Michael Myers. Kill these two douchebags.
Oh yeah. That's the one movie where I'm just like, please, just kill them all.
Right.
Every single one.
It's not Michael Myers. It's the team.
Like I'm putting on heavy metal music. I'm like, yeah, kill them all.
Or like, come on, Starship Troopers, kill them all.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I mean, I know you're not a video game fan. I'm always talking about video games on this podcast.
Go on.
But speaking of kill 'em all, there's a game that made me think of Independence Day.
Right.
The movie Independence Day.
Yes.
I had to get it. It is the most American game ever made by the Japanese.
Interesting.
You are the president of the United States. It's called Metal Wolf Chaos. And you are the president of the United States. You have to pilot a mech against terrorists. And who is a terrorist? Everybody.
You know, it's funny you say that. I was rewatching Independence. Well, since we just had 4th of July. And I figured, what the heck, Independence. It's not the greatest thing. But again, another junk food movie I enjoy watching every now and then for the occasion.
Yeah. Well, this game I'm talking about is like a junk food game. It's
right.
It's like super Americanized. You have to, save all the prisoners from a POW camp.
Right.
In this giant mech while battling tanks and giant robots and helicopters.
Right.
Shouting things like choose, you are the president, and your secretary's going, remember, Mr. President, choose your own justice. Like just the most like Americana, like literally Team America, the video game.
Right, gotcha.
Right, which I love, but I didn't mean to get off on a rant there, but
that's okay.
It's not to sound like Dennis Miller here, but I don't mean to get off on a rant here.
Also, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while since we've been doing these podcasts again. Clowns in the Cornfield that came out this year. Well, it wasn't the greatest thing, but it had some quality entertainment. It's basically about this father and daughter that move to a new town. They find about that the town has this there's this clown called and stuff, and also there's another fellow that pokes fun of the old generation, the new generation, these TikTok generation, they suck.
These TikTokers with their phones and their scrolling.
And then they also poke the fun about, even the kids from the 90s weren't so perfect or innocent either, or better, so, but not to get off on that. Yeah. But there's also a scene that was funny when the teenage girls trying to get away from the killer clowns, and they're in this old like farmhouse. They don't know how to use a rotary phone. I'm joking myself. I'm not the smartest guy alive. I do know how to use those phones. It's not that hard. You just turn it and spin it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the joke. They don't know how to use those kind of phones. That's what makes it funny.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. It's called Clowns in a Corn.
Actually, in a corn, something like that. But it was like a small, like independent horror film that was made.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
I checked it out for curiosity.
You give me a whole list.
Yeah, for once, I'm doing the recommendations. Johnny Buffcott's recommendations.
Yep.
Sinners, Clowns in the Cornfield, and also Cobra Kai finale. I saw it. It was excellent. Karate Kid Legends was great.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check out Legends for sure. Karate Kid
Yes,
Legends.
I saw it twice. It was awesome.
All right. Is there anything else you want to cover?
I have no interest to go see Megan 2.0. No, thank you. Hold on to your vaginas. I don't think so.
Nope.
No. They're basically making it like a Terminator 2 knockoff. She's the good robot this time. Give me a break.
Yep. We see you copying James Cameron's homework.
Yes.
I mean, James Cameron copies other people's homework, but pay no mind.
Yes, well, at least he has good originality with Terminator being a mock to that, what was that show? That was,
it was
Outer Limits.
Yeah, he obviously aped some things from Outer Limits, I think from Twilight Zone as well.
Yes.
But that doesn't lessen Terminator. I like Terminator.
Me too. I can watch that movie any day.
Yep.
I'd be balk.
Oh, speaking of sci-fi movies, we'll probably have to cover it next time. I wanna talk to you about what's your opinion on the Judge Dredd movies.
I've never seen them.
You never seen them? Okay. Okay, so that has to be on your movie list, my friend.
All right, Judge Dredd.
You go see them. I'm gonna have to rewatch them myself, both the original.
But I know Stallone. I am the law. Yeah, I know.
I am the law. I am the
law. And here's something I also want to cover too. Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith turns 20. How do you think it holds up after 20 years in your opinion?
Oh, Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is one of the best. One of the prequels.
Right.
The best prequel. I like Clones, but Clones has issues. So does Menace. But I like them both. But Revenge of the Sith is great.
Yes.
I saw that in theaters. It's a great movie. It still holds up.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that maybe some other time.
Yeah, definitely. I like Revenge of the Sith. It's not perfect, but it definitely was one of the better prequels compared to the first.
Oh yeah, and definitely better than the sequel trilogy.
Absolutely. If people thought that the prequel trilogy was bad, it makes it look better compared to my.
Oh yeah, and it's funny that everybody and their mother are like coming up with, the prequels were actually pretty good. Be like, bro, I was doing that when the prequels were coming out. Not to sound like a hipster or nothing.
Well, it's funny, like rewatching, I'm like, damn, I feel so old. I remember seeing this when it came out, loving it a lot.
Yep.
Same with
Batman. Old yet, kiddo.
Same with Batman Begins. I saw that at the time when I graduated from 6th grade going into middle school. That was my graduation present, was Batman Begins.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, Batman Begins, I remember it took a while for me to see. I didn't see it.
Really?
I played the video game before I saw the movie.
And that was a good video. I used to play that game as a kid.
Yeah, that was a good video game, and yes. everybody that talks about like Arkham being like the first like stealth heavy. Yeah, I'm like, no, Batman Begins the video game was.
I could see that.
They implemented so much other stuff.
Batman Begins saved the franchise. It was fresh and it was a great retake on Batman. It's reinvented.
It did. And the only negative thing I will say, it didn't. I don't think it really aged that well in terms of aesthetic.
Right.
And I've always said this about the modern day Batman movies, going from Begins to the modern day. Gotham has not looked like Gotham in a while.
Right.
Not since the Burton era.
Right.
That's not me waving a Burton flag or nothing. I just miss when Gotham looked like a city out of time. I miss that Art Deco kind of thing.
Right.
And
And also,
I'm hoping not to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
the other, well, let me just say this quickly. Like the other thing I like about in the Nolan film, The Batman Begins, compared to Burton's Batman, is that in the Batman '89 film, don't get me wrong, I love that film, but it was the Joker that killed Batman's parents, whereas he was more true to
Yeah,
the comic book. It was Joe Chill that killed Bruce Wayne's
yeah,
parents.
and it's funny that that was such a change because it kind of gave a interesting pathos. The 89 was it 89?
Yeah,
89 Batman. It kind of gave an interesting pathos of like, you made me first. I kind of like that idea, because it kind of, everything kind of comes full circle.
yeah. And also we see how like Bruce Wayne, like before he became Batman, he was Ra's al Ghul trained him, and he was trying to conquer his fear about that. He wanted to like overcome his fear of trying to fight and trying to like also make sure be a savior and protection in Gotham City after what he went through with his
Right,
parents' death.
right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and then if Ra's al Ghul saw the potential in him, but then he realized that Ra's al Ghul was just as corrupted as what like a person of Gotham City was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah. Yeah, great movie, Batman Begins.
but to bring my point home, but yeah, I hope that two things happen with the Batman franchise. Number one, it needs a break.
Right.
Absolutely needs a pretty long hiatus. Make people want it.
Well, they announced the second Batman film.
Yeah,
Madsen.
yes,
I
I
know, I
heard.
know. But I'm
Yes,
a sucker punch for Batman. I'll watch it anyway. What the hell?
I
Because
know, and that's kind of like me and Daredevil,
right.
right? And I've explained that I don't know if you ever saw the director's cut of the
I
2003
did,
film.
yes, I did as a teenager on television. They used to show
What did you think?
it was good. It was
Better?
interesting. Yeah, I would definitely say a lot better, but I have to I need to refresh. I have to I haven't seen it in a long time. I need to refresh my
Oh
memory.
yeah, no, I watched it. I watched it almost a year ago now, and going back to that, I mean, it is so 2003.
True.
It is
True.
like it's got Evanescence playing. I'm like,
Yeah.
hello 2003. My
Yeah.
goodness.
I know. We feel so old,
Yeah,
especially
I'm
back
like,
then.
man, I saw this in theaters.
I did. I saw it a few months later. My
No,
parents got
I saw it in theaters, and
lucky you.
I remember the promotional thing for Evanescence
Same.
with the music video and
Same.
everything super edgy. But the one thing I can
And
say, going back and watching that movie, I can't shake the feeling, and I've said this last time. It reminds me so much aesthetically of The Crow.
I could see that.
Of The Crow. There's something about, especially the director's cut. They even have the flame,
Yes.
the flame D, double
Yes.
D, and I'm like, okay, you are doing that's The Crow. You're doing The Crow,
Yes.
which isn't a bad thing. I love The Crow.
And
The comic,
I love the
uh,
Crow too. We've
the
talked about
comic,
it
the
on this
movie.
podcast.
Of course, the original. I can't believe we have to even state that we're talking about the 1993 original, but yeah, we are talking about the original here.
It's 94, The Crow.
94.
Yeah, well, even though despite Brandon Lee died in 93, the year before it came out when he was shot by accident, and
Yeah, but it's such a great movie, and
I love The Crow.
the comic is even better. I think we've talked about that in length.
We have.
We've talked about that in length.
I remember when Daredevil came out in 2003. That was the early of the Marvel movies of Renaissance with Spider-Man, X-Men,
It really was,
and it got me into the Daredevil comic books too, because I remember reading the comics before I saw the movie. And
let us not forget. Everybody talks about Deadpool being the first R-rated Marvel movie. No, it was Blade.
that's
Blade
true.
was the
Yes,
first one.
that is very true.
Everybody forgets Blade,
I know.
and
Nobody talks about Blade anymore these days. I
yeah.
notice.
But I am glad that Marvel kind of gave a wink and a nod in the Deadpool movies to that era.
Right.
Um, which I mean,
Well,
it was
I
it was
thought
hit or miss.
I thought you were retarded.
Yeah, retarded.
When I saw Deadpool Wolverine last year, I was like geeking out, like, oh yes, there's Wesley Snipes, there's Jennifer Garner as Elektra, there's Channing Tatum, he almost played Gambit in a film that was thought of but never made.
It's funny. He actually, it took me a while for his Gambit to grow on me.
Really?
But I liked his Gambit.
Same.
But I also, the funny thing is, I don't like X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I saw it a long time ago.
But the Gambit in that movie
was okay.
Was pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't seen X-Men Origins in a long time.
That was the only good thing I could say about it. Was the guy who played Gambit was pretty good.
Right. Yeah.
Other than that, mess.
Gotcha. Well, again, it's been
we'll talk about the X-Men movie some other time.
I'd like to, but I don't know. I feel like the X-Men franchise kind of died down. It kind of needed a break after.
Yeah. It died down after Last Stand.
Yeah,
and then it kind of revived, but they never could get the formula right after Last Stand. After Last Stand, in terms of a solo X-Men movie, with the exception of Logan, but Logan I consider a Wolverine movie.
That's true. I can agree on that.
That's basically what happened to X-Men. Is after Last Stand, it became the Wolverine franchise.
Pretty much.
Less about the X-Men and more about Wolverine. And even though they tried to do all these, First Class and stuff First Class wasn't bad.
That was okay. I saw it once.
They never could get it right after, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. The last X-Men movie I saw was Apocalypse a long time ago when it came out, but I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just not forgettable. And it seems like such an easy thing to do because it's they had it right the first time. Make it about the school. Make it about not necessarily social issues, but really what really made X-Men was
I did like
your differences,
I did like Days of Futures Past. That was a good X-Men movie.
Yeah, Days of Futures Past was pretty good.
Yeah, but then after that, they just went downhill, and it just really got saturated. It just really got not.
Yeah,
I don't know. They just lost it after that.
I don't know. Yeah. Like I said,
I give them credit. They went a long time without rebooting it, but I think at this point they're going to reboot X-Men.
Yep. Yeah. It's a coming.
Oh yeah, it's coming is right.
Yep. With that said, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yes. Dangerous Animals was a recent Shudder film, but it was released theatrically. It was about this surfer woman in Australia who gets kidnapped by a serial killer who basically takes people on tourists for swimming with the sharks. It was like Jaws meets Silence of the Lambs, and it was really, really good.
Interesting.
Yes.
I'll have to check it out. Kind of reminds me of Wolf's Creek.
I didn't see that, but I've heard about Wolf's Creek.
Good movie. Hard watch, but good movie.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, definitely got to see Dangerous Animals. That I was like, damn, this is insane.
Sounds like an '80s album. Sounds like an '80s glam metal album. I might use that as a title for my next glam metal album, Dangerous Animals or something.
Gotcha. And also, Batman Forever turns 30 recently.
Yeah, I still stand by that film.
Same.
I like that film.
Me too.
It's goofy, it's campy, but it's fun, and I like Val Kilmer as Batman.
So do I, and he's more. Batman Forever is a forgiving film compared to Batman and Robin.
Right. And personally, I know this is gonna be a weird take. He reminds me so much of what I would think the animated series version of Batman would look like in real life. His build at the time, he had the broad shoulders. The glasses were kind of weird. Okay, it was kind of weird.
Unless they wanted to do an adult version of Peter Parker, I guess. I don't know.
Right, they were kind of weird. But in terms of his appearance, it was like okay, he basically is the animated version of Batman. in terms of physically.
Right. But I highly doubt Val Kilmer watched the animated show before.
No, yeah. But yeah, that's who he reminded me of, which is a weird compliment to say that Val Kilmer reminded me of Kevin Conroy, but
right. I could see for that time, especially like he was a big risk taker when Michael Keaton bowed down as Batman when Tim Burton was booed off the franchise. And
I think he was a good Batman.
I agree. Totally agree. I always liked him as Batman, even as a kid watching. Despite, he's no Michael Keaton, but he does a solid job.
And as goofy as it was, it had some great dramatic moments too.
Caffeine will kill you.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. Come on, that was that peak Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong answer. Come on. Like, as goofy as he was, he elevated the Riddler to like
Frank Gorsh.
Yeah, he did that in his own style, and love him or hate him, Jim Carrey in his day, next to Robin Williams, growing up, I enjoyed him. I loved him.
I still love Jim Carrey too.
In a day. Now not so much. He's kind of gone a little crazy, but whatever.
I can agree with that part.
Do that to you.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think Jim Carrey still has it, but I just think he needs a better script and a better direction.
Yeah, and maybe like a couple mental health days,
That too, and especially
I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to him. He kind of went off the deep end, but again, Hollywood machine will do that to you. If you're in there for that long, you'll never come out the same person. Unfortunately,
my dad points out about how like in Dumb and Dumber, a lot of it was improvised, like the most annoying sound in the world, or we landed on the
moon. yeah. I still say one of the funniest stories I've ever heard from Dumb and Dumber was, believe it or not, Jim Carrey had, I forget if it was Jeff Daniels or Jim Carrey had met Clint Eastwood.
It was Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels had met Clint Eastwood on a golf course.
Yes.
And he had commented, he says, that scene when you're
the toilet scene,
you're shitting yourself in the toilet. He says, I laughed so hard.
Yes.
He says, believe it or not, on a date, I had the exact same experience.
Yes.
And the funniest thing is I'm picturing Clint Eastwood, poor old Clint Eastwood, going full Harry on the toilet. Just that image alone.
Jeff Daniels' agent told him not to do this movie, but then it's like you go from that to getting a comment from Clint Eastwood, like, "Oh, I love that movie. That toilet scene was so funny. That happened."
He's like, I died laughing.
Right. But that's the funny thing about that scene. We've all been there, like, "Oh no!" Like too late to find out. That
just an awkward situation. Well, more awkward in terms of that case, but.
Right.
Everyone's kind of been on an awkward situation on it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Or especially like when like being like how he scams the little boy into buying a dead, not just a dead parrot, but anything, like we've been scammed before in life.
Right, exactly.
Free bird, free bird.
And I always loved going to Jim Carrey movies. Ace Ventura has been my favorite. We're gonna have to do a dedication.
I wanted to do Jim Carrey podcast. Yes, absolutely. I love Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to save that for some other time.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to cover, or?
Let me see. Let me just check.
We've been going for a while.
We pretty much covered everything that I talked about. So no, I think that's about everything.
All right, with that said, I've been Wolfman Sam, here with my partner Johnny Buff Guns. Again, we are Creatures of the Night.
See you next time.
See you next time.